Now, for the vast majority of you, this ain't for you. But before we get into it, I just got a question to ask. If you don't like something, why do you keep watching? Like, I just want to know. Maybe I'm too old. I'm Generation X, so maybe I'm just old. But I don't like something, I don't watch it. I didn't like how Top 10 Nerds started using AI instead of using their people. So I unsubscribed and I stopped watching. It was just that easy. Do they care? No, they don't care. Also, too, I'm not watching the videos just getting pissed off. Like, there are enough things in this world that will piss you off and you can't do anything about them. I can't do anything about my bills. I can't do anything about taxes. I can't do anything about my job. I can't do anything about Donald Trump. All those things pisses me off to the highest level of pissivity. So the things that I can't control, I do by not participating. And before you start saying, oh, well, you don't have to pay taxes. You could choose better bills. You can choose another job. Just stop. That mess is what's for you. You're the person I'm talking to. Support the comic book industry by visiting your local comic book store. My name is Dorian. This is SEM Comics. We're continuing our coverage of Weapon X-Men. Number 4. Our story starts off deep in the Atlantic Ocean, where we have a one submersible headed to a secret facility deep in the ocean. And now, since S.H.I.E.L.D.'s no longer a thing, one is now in charge of the domestic kaiju defense storage. And if you looked at the cover, which I don't know how you couldn't with a 1.5-minute intro, this is pretty much where to keep the Jaegers. Or Gundam, whichever side of the world you're on. Anyway, this dude is trying to show this new recruit the ropes, because he's only been there for 6 weeks. But this new recruit don't need to be shown the ropes. He pulls out his gun and shoots this dude right in the head. So now we got the Hell's Kitchen, where we're at one of Cable's many safe houses. And he's explaining how he sent an anonymous tip to the Pentagon to let them know about Hydra Island that's floating in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. And somebody has to pick up all that raw before we even get into the word. Come on, X laughing my ass off. You're up, Alright, according to this, it is A.W.O.L, man, A.W.O.L, man, There you go. That's your 15 seconds. Now, let me just say, the majority of you guys make this like a worthwhile experience. It's just a few. And just what puzzles me is that if you don't like it, why don't you just go somewhere else? There are hundreds of millions of YouTube channels. There are all kinds of different social medias. Go somewhere else. Like, Jesus. Man, you mismoved it. Anyway, so now that they got that figured out, now the concern is Thunderbird, because he took a beating on that island. I mean, a beating. And right now, he's in a makeshift ICU trying to recover. So Chambers is wondering, for one, what the hell his issue is. And for two, why was that issue in Latveria? Like, of all places, why there? So Cable's like, I don't know. But that's a damn good question to ask when he wakes up. So now Chambers is asking Cable, why is he here? Like, he doesn't feel like really a part of this team. He wants to go back to London. And Cable's like, no, you're an essential part of this team. And Chambers like, look, I've done the whole team thing. I've been an X-Man. It never works out. So why is this any different? And Cable's like, look, I'm from a future that might not even exist anymore. So I know a little something about wanting to belong somewhere. All I know is that in the future, this team is extremely important, and the way it's constructed has to happen. But then out of nowhere, there's an alarm from a local proximity sensor that goes off. And then Red Ronin just pops up out the water, looking like a Megazord. So he's walking through one of the 5 boroughs of New York, and this news helicopter comes flying right next to him. Which, I'm sorry, if I'm the pilot, there's no chance. There's no way in hell. And the reason being is exactly what happens. All of a sudden, this dude lifts off his arm, shoots the damn helicopter down. And then Cable has to use his telekinesis to catch it and lower it down. So then he tries to use his telepathy to see who's driving this damn thing. But unfortunately, there's a force field around it. He can't break through. And then we cut to Deadpool, who's in a cab, and he's telling the cab driver to drive to the location of the robot, which I'm the cab driver. I'm like, you lost your damn mind. I'd have been like, you could have the cab, I'll just say you robbed me. And one of the main reasons why Deadpool wants to get there is so he can officially pull out their battle cry, which is Weapon X-Men Forever. Now, this is definitely a nice Cable, because I don't know where the hell he pulled this damn thing out, but this thing is huge. He is like, might as well bust out the big artillery, because we need to take this thing down. We need to take this thing down now. So he shoots this big ass thing, and it does nothing. Force field's still intact. So he's like, all right, Chambers, you're up. And Chambers like, all right, see what I can do. He lets his power go. Again, does nothing to the force field. So we know that it's a new recruit that's driving this thing. And Red Ronin's like, hey, the defenses are at maximum. And dude's like, you just handle the annoyances outside, and I'll get us where we need to go. So then Cable's like, Wolverine, where you at? And he's like, looking at the damn thing. Just give me a second. Let me see what I can do. So he jumps from the building, makes it to the robot, slashes at him, and he actually is able to break through. So I guess, you ready to laugh my ass off? Adamantium is tougher than that big ass laser cannon, which I don't know how. So now Cable is able to use his telepathy and he's like, yep, there is somebody driving it, and I know exactly where they're going. He's headed to Bellevue Hospital because his family's there. So I guess Cable's telepathy is kind of a two-way street, because now this dude knows where he is, and he shoots all these missiles at Chamber and Cable. While all that's going on, Wolverine has hacked and slashed his way into the robot, and he's like, I'm making my way up to the head now. And Deadpool is still stuck in traffic. So now another helicopter, this is a police one, that I guess either didn't see what happened to the news one, or I guess they don't have any choice, they have to go up there. Me, if I was a pilot, I'd have been like, oh, gotta call in Bill, because I'm sick. There's no way I can fly that damn thing. And of course, it got exactly what the news helicopter got. It got a little worse. Like I don't think there's no survivors in that one. So the Wolverine makes his way to the head. He sees the pilot. He gets him unhooked. And he's like, all right, you guys, this dude is no longer driving this thing. And Chambers wastes no time and hits this robot with a huge blast. And Wolverine's like, well, damn, you know I'm still inside there. And Cable's like, well, you better get your ass out, because I'm about to bust out that big gun again. And that's exactly what he does. And sends another big ass missile straight to that robot. So it hits, and Wolverine was able to jump out right when it hit with the pilot. And he uses his claws to go down this building. And he's like, I should drop you right now. Like, you are so lucky I'm hanging on to you. So right before this robot falls and lands on probably thousands of people, uses his telekinesis and catches the robot and lays it down gently. He still probably killed a few people. Deadpool finally shows up and is giving Wolverine all kinds of grief. And then one shows up to give them even more grief. And my favorite one agent is here, Adrian Lundquist. So he starts popping off at the mouth, talking about, all right, you guys get the hell out of here, because somebody's going to protect these people. It's going to be us. And Wolverine's like, are you serious? Like, what's your screening protocol? Because, you know, this dude was headed to his family. And we were like, yeah, we know. We found out later on that he was hiding it from us. That his brother's in Bellevue, and he was piloting this thing when he fought the Avengers. Again, is that his fault for not telling you, or is that your fault for not checking with your girly beard? So anyway, they decide to head out and let one take over. And then Deadpool's like, so where are we headed to? A mansion? A tower? And then Cable's like, I got something in mind. And it's a rundown steel facility. And Cable's like, I had this place for years. The level of tech in this place is phenomenal. And Deadpool's like, yeah, but it stinks. And Wolverine's like, shut up, Wilson. So they go to check on Thunderbird, and he's gone. And Wolverine's like, all right, let's look at security footage. And Cable's like, I don't have any security footage in here, but we don't need it because he used a computer and it's still warm. So he uses keystroke command recalls, and he's like, man, like my computer is not easy to hack into. So Thunderbird's a lot smarter than what he looks, or at least he's a lot smarter than what I give him credit for. So once he figures out, he's like, oh, this is crazy. And they're like, are we headed to Liberia? And Cable's like, no, it's even crazier because he's looking for Trevor Fitzroy. So we're about to get a double dose of the upstarts because they were in the mainline X-Men series. And now they're about to be in Weapon X-Men.